What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great Thirsty Thursday, where we have the Dallas Cowboys going against the Seattle Seahawks at home. The Dallas Cowboys have been beating the hell out of people at home. In fact, you dare say that for once, the house that Jerry built for losers, as my buddy Charles Haley famously said, is now a place where they're kicking ass. The Cowboys 8.5-point favorites over Seattle at home, and this is an opportunity for the Cowboys, although it'll be briefly, to beat a winning team. If the Cowboys win, we know automatically it's going to end up being, oh, well, they're not a winning team. They're 6-6. But be that as it may, Deron Bland is the NFC Defensive Player of the Month. Shout out to him. And I dare say he's creeping up. He's creeping up on Defensive Player of the Year. I'm going to say, if he gets 2 more pick sixes on the season, I don't know how you can't make him Defensive Player of the Year. When you look at the numbers for when Stephon Gilmore was Defensive Player of the Year, his numbers right now are as good as Stephon Gilmore's, but we'll see how that works out. And so, as we go through here on this season, as we start looking and saying, Dak Prescott is having an incredible season, which he is. You look at CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is having an incredible season. And you can look and say that Jake Ferguson is doing well. And you got to also look at Tony Pollard and say he's on pace for 1,000 yards. So you have to look at all these guys and say, great job, guys. You guys are kicking ass and taking names. But we also have to look at this where the reason behind all of these players playing so well on the offense, it's the offensive line, stupid. It's the offensive line. The offensive line, gets overlooked because the problem is the only time you pay attention, for most people, that they pay attention to the offensive line is when the offensive line is sucking. Flat out. If the quarterback's getting sacked, they're talking about the offensive line. Oh, man, he gave up another sack. That guy, man, oh, my God. It's like Flowers from the Giants. Oh, man, he's a human turnstile. Or you talk about him when they're offsides. False start. Oh, jeez, flip. Oh, man, look at that idiot. He doesn't even know the snap count. Or when they get called for holding over and over and over again. Remember when they talked about Connor Williams, because he led the team in holding penalties? I think he had like 13. And how the Dallas Cowboys offense, specifically their offensive line, led the league in penalties. And remember when Tyler Smith was drafted, they talked about, oh my God, the Cowboys offensive line, already the most penalized offensive line in football. They go out and get the most penalized college player out there. It's funny. Tyler Smith is not having all those holding calls. Tyler Smith has turned into one of the best guards in football, although most of you wouldn't know because you don't know anything about the offensive line. And more importantly, over the last 3 weeks, Tyron Smith, I don't know if he found the fountain of youth, if there's something in the water, but Tyron Smith is like the old Tyrannosaurus Tyron Smith. And so because the Dallas Cowboys offensive line is now better at opening holes, it's easier for Tony Pollard to make some yards. And because Dak Prescott's not running for his life, dinking and dunking up underneath guys, that he now has time to survey the field, to look at his first, his second, his third, his fourth, and then start all over, reads again. He's playing at an MVP level. I have been very, very blessed. Very, very blessed to have done a lot of cool things. One being this red brick house. This thing will be probably one of the greatest projects that I've ever had in my life. But I've also been able to be around great players, Hall of Famers, and some of the greatest players of the Dallas Cowboys. And being around Roger Staubach, when Roger Staubach was speaking at Drew Pearson's Hall of Fame after party where they roasted Drew Pearson. Yeah, Tony Dorsett talking about how he ran, and on that 99-yard touchdown that he ran with 10 players on the field, how he was just hoping that Drew Pearson with his duck run would just get in the way of somebody. Just get in the way of somebody. But Roger Staubach said, it didn't matter how good a pass I threw if players like Drew Pearson couldn't catch it. And that's the same thing about quarterback for passing the football. I mean, we're still talking about quarterback, you dummy. But I mean, for the quarterback being able to get the ball off. You can have the greatest quarterback in the history of football, but if he doesn't have time to get the football, survey the field, and throw, it doesn't matter. Everything on offense and defense starts in the trenches. You know, my buddy, DMV, you know, I want you to understand, everybody can teach you something. And the day you stop learning is the day you die. DMV said something that stuck with me forever. He said, and it's so true, if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the middle of the field. You control the field. You control the field. You can do whatever you like. You can do whatever you like. That's right. And that's where you have to look at the offensive line. That when we started the season, remember, Tyler Smith missed the first 2 games. Tyron Smith missed like 2 or 3 games early on. You missed Zach Martin missed a game, and you had Biotish miss a game. We had different offensive lines, and we got a new offensive line coach. And so you looked at this and said, man, we are in trouble. And for everybody that said we need to move on from Tyron Smith, I can't guarantee that he's going to make it without a medical malfunction next week. But right now, it was a great move for the Cowboys to bring back Tyron Smith. And Tyron Smith, if he can continue to play like this, where you don't have to worry about chipping somebody outside, where you know he's got the left and you've got Tyler Smith getting to the second level, this team can make a lot of noise. Now you can say it was against ass teams. That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay. You can do that. We'll see tonight, because the Seattle Seahawks are a much better defensive team than a lot of the teams that they faced. And I can't wait. I'm going to be cooking in the kitchen, getting some shit done. And we'll probably start a live stream maybe at about 7 o'clock. All right, good people. So that means I only got about 4 hours to get my shit together. Damn. Yeah, 4 hours to get my shit together. I'm Mark Holmes, and I appreciate you. Peace out.